Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 62nd episode of the Poorly Planned Podcast. My name is Benedict. You probably know me.
Yeah, it's all gone to shit.
You probably know me better as BHL Hudson. Here we talk about movies, TV shows, a bunch of nonsense. With me, as always, is my friend, co-host, and back in Denmark, buddy, Frederick.
Oh my goodness. It's amazing, isn't it?
He's back, baby.
It's amazing. So let's get a little Scotland update about the shit that has gone on.
Well, first, before we get into everything, I do just want to say, A, timecodes down below to everything we talk about. B, you may notice that the audio is a little funky on this one. That's because, despite Freddie being back, because of, quarantining and wanting to be safe and time scheduling and all that, we are still doing this episode via the internet, and Freddie also does not have his microphone.
We are on the line right now.
So he's recording on his phone right now and computer, so the audio is going to be, and we're recording online, so there might be some weird pauses. So the audio is going to be a bit on the ropes this episode, but you know what? It's the best we can do, and also hopefully next week we'll actually be able to record in the same room. But with all that out of the way,
not in person, but we will be in the same room. We'll still be sitting other ends Skype.
We should, since it's kind of a shock that you're back in DK to the pod fans, because you were supposed to come back in like 4 weeks or something. So what happened? Can I have a Scotland update?
Oh, well, funny you should say Scotland update, because the update is more the fact that I'm back in Denmark. No, so basically, like, I think the day after we hit the last pod, I was like, oh yeah, I'll be back in like 3-4 weeks. It'll be great. The day after, the Nicola Sturgeon, the head of Scotland, we'll call her. I don't know.
The captain of the
general of the Scottish Army. She came out and was like, yo, so Sterling's going into lockdown. I was like, oh, that's not great. So I could have stayed 3 weeks and then flown home afterwards, but there was a chance it would both be extended, but also everything, like all sports and gyms closed. And you know me, I need my sports.
You are the new Schwarzenegger is what they call you, so.
It's exactly what I'm known as. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just take the first flight back, and then just to make sure stay home for Christmas. Also, make some more pods. That was the main reason behind the shift home. I was like, you know what?
That's the main reason you do most things in your life. The pod kind of controls a lot of your movements around the world.
Very much dictates everything I do.
As it should. Well. But
yeah, so I'm back.
It's bloody great to have you back, although again, I've not been able to see you yet. But that's also been part of why it's great. But yeah, so I guess that's the end of the Scotland update segment of it. We should still do it every week, I think. Just so you can just give me like a piece of trivia about Scotland. Just
I feel like you'll probably know more than I do, but all right.
Well, I say today's episode is going to be. You thought last week's episode was a classic episode of the pod. This is going to be the most. Besides the audio being, this is going to be the most classic episode because we're doing mini reviews, we're doing news, and we're doing a topic.
No.
You best believe.
No! Take it back!
You crumble? It's too much pressure?
It's too much? It's too good a deal? No!
It's way too classic? So,
never gone so vintage before. All right.
So, yeah.
My God.
We're going to do...
Well, can I hear the topic?
Well, okay, I'll be honest. And again, I know we say this every time.
I'll be honest, it's terrible.
I know we say every time, like, oh, this episode is, like, really poorly planned. But goddamn, this one was like... this one...
We keep...
I want...
You're making this up as you speak to me.
I literally put all this together 10 minutes before I called you. Because, like... I thought I had... Because I have, like, a list of ideas for the episodes, and I thought I had one for this week. I realized I didn't, because I've been doing a bunch of other stuff, so I was like, well...
Well, this is classic BHL Hudson. This.
So, let's just go with it. The topic for this week is extremely randomly, but we're going to be talking about Mission Impossible 4. I don't even remember which one. Is that the one with Renner? Yeah,
I
mean multiple of them are with Renner, but that's Ghost Protocol. It's the one where he climbs up the building.
No, Renner's only in one of them. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
in the second one, he doesn't do anything. Come on. Now.
I would argue Renner is the driving force behind that. He's the real antagonist.
Somehow, the hidden antagonist. Yeah.
But first, because I feel like just a Mission Impossible 4 episode that would do Casino Royale episode-esque numbers. So we're also gonna be doing news. So I can title this Mission Impossible 4 plus news catch-up, and I can put something crazy in the thumbnail. You know what I'm saying?
The most random movie you could have chosen.
I don't know. They're filming.
We're going with Mission Impossible. Oh, the Cattle one. No, the 1, 2.
Because then we can do like a series. Then we'll do Mission Impossible 5, and then we'll do Mission Impossible. Bro, it's over.
Yo, before you know it, pod episode 650.
Anyway, we'll get to that. But first, mini reviews for this week.
Ooh.
I'll go first, as I should.
I'll have you know, I didn't know many reviews were happening.
Okay, I'll go first and last, evidently. Well, I watched Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I know you're jealous.
Sound excited.
Try to hide. Try to contain yourself.
God. Scotland is the Harry Potter land.
Well, yeah, it takes place in Scotland, so I was thinking of you the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You haven't seen any of the Harry Potters,
so
have you?
It sucks, and
you're not a Potterhead, as they're called.
See, a ped. Anyway,
that sounds weird. Let's not call it a ped.
It's a weird relationship I have with peds and Harry. It's like I've always kind of wanted to get into it, but then it's never really gripped my interest.
But I'm not a nerd, so I never really I can never go.
But
for
I also get women, so I don't know why I watch it. You feel me? No, I've never really gotten into it. It does seem interesting, and I kind of want to get into it, but I've never really sat down.
So is the only one you've seen
done it.
Fantastical Johnny 2, the re-Johnnying? Full title.
Official title and all. I've seen that, and I think I've seen the first one as well, but that was a long time ago.
Well, the fifth one, I think you would enjoy, because it's got the teen angst, which I know you're an expert in, having lived through many years of it yourself. And it has...
I can relate to this Potter movie.
It has an epic Dumbledore-Voldemort clash at the end, where Voldemort makes a big fire snake, and then Dumbledore puts him in a big bubble of water. It's pretty good. So it's way better than it sounds. And I know it sounds awesome, so I just try to imagine.
I know it sounds phenomenal.
It's a good movie. It's one of the better ones. Then do you literally not
all
have
I remember? No, I've got some things somewhere. Really awkward. So that's this 12-minute pod episode.
I guess we won't talk about Mission Impossible this episode.
No, all I remember. Wait, before I get to that, all I remember from the Potteries is just him sprouting a tail on like a little fat boy in the first movie.
Okay, well he doesn't do that. That's Hagrid who does that. Thank you very much.
All right.
Rubius Hagrid.
Groovius.
Rubius, not Groobius.
Oh, okay.
That word sounds disgusting. Groobius. Sounds like a big old blob.
You know it fits Hagrid so well.
Rubius sounds like a royal. Garubius is like... Anyway.
Mini review. I've watched The Boys. Season 1 and 2.
Binge.
What? Oh, binging.
Can we get a binge alert up in here?
Is that the binge trigger I see?
Someone hit the binge alarm. Well, I think that the pod audience will be very excited about that.
I've watched the entirety of the first season when we recorded last pod. Whilst we were recording, like before. And then you were doing mini reviews. And I just completely forgot about it.
I was so engrossing with my descriptions.
Yeah. So yes, I've watched both seasons, and I freaking love it. It's so good. Have you seen this?
I have not, but it is, I think, my most requested thing to review ever. Like, on every single video, there are like quite a few that are just saying review The Boys.
No, I think you would love it. It is so good. It's also like probably the most like violent thing I've ever seen in a TV show.
Wow, ever? Even more than like Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad and that kind of thing.
Yeah, else like at least in terms of like both effects and shock value wise. You'll see what I mean, but
I definitely want to watch it. Yeah.
There's a few things that you're just like, wow, what the fuck just happened here? Like really, really messed up stuff. But yeah, very good characters. I have to say that. So there's the main guy called Huey, and then like the leader of the group is this guy called Butcher, who is very cool, but I like him, but he feels very cartoony in ways.
Is that Carl Urban?
I don't know. It's the guy with the beard and black hair.
Yes, that would be Mr. Urban.
That is the Herbmeister. Yeah. So he's good and very, very, very likable, but at the same time he's very cartoony sometimes. Because like sometimes they're doing very, very serious scenes. Like, because a lot of the other people are very grounded. And he just comes and he's like, "Savvy?" I'm like, "Jack."
Wow, I was not expecting some Johnny references in this show, but now I have to watch it.
Now it's my least requested show, and I'm gonna watch it.
Huh?
But very, very, very good action, and yeah, good, very interesting plot as well.
And it's an R-rated kind of like comedic take on like it's like Deadpool-esque or but more serious.
Yeah, so basically there's like superheroes are a thing. They're all owned or employed at this company called Vought, but then behind the scenes they're all like total scumbags. And then the boys are people who've had like, so then this is not really spoiling anything, but the boys have all like lost someone or something to like superheroes being reckless or being like being dicks, right? So then they kind of band together, and it's very, very good. I think it would probably be one of your favorite shows. I won't lie to you.
I think so. I've heard nothing but stuff to indicate that. So yeah, I would. And now especially with the FDK recommendation, well,
now you're legally obliged to watch it.
Well, yeah, all right, and you finished it then. Damn, I think they've renewed for season 3. So
they have, yeah.
Then I did in fact have another viewing of My Name is Raymond Smith, or whatever he says.
Raymond Smith.
Is his last name Smith? Because I was just it just came to me in the moment.
You know. No, that's very good. You're very good.
I rewatched it with my mom and dad because it's very much the type of Papa Hudson. It's very much his kind of movie, and
I know him.
He
sadly I can say that I know him.
He loved it. Just a really, really. I think I might have even enjoyed it.
Good. It's
actually not more the second time, but I enjoyed it at least as much the second time. It's a excellent, super.
I've watched it 4 times now, which is just unhealthy.
I'm obsessed with Raymond Smith. I forgot how absolutely just nutty the Hugh Grant performance is.
The Hugh Grant performance is so incredibly nutty.
It's really good. And then, do you have another mini review?
I do.
Oh. You dare challenge me?
You dare challenge the nutty Grant?
Something no man has ever survived doing.
Ever tried to stand up to the nutty Grant, you just get pulverized.
Go ahead.
Yes, a mini review. And it's very mini because I watch like one episode every week because they're coming out continuously. But Haikyu, which is an anime about volleyball. I know, it sounds amazing.
This is almost as cool as the Ultimate Frisbee team, I have to say.
Exactly. You think I peaked at Ultimate Frisbee, but nay.
It's called Haikyu?
Haikyu. It's so good.
Like
I've watched all 4 seasons, and now the 5th season is, or I guess what's labeled as the 5th season is continuously coming out every week, and it's so good. It's about high school volleyball. I know it doesn't sound great. I know you're judging me, DHL, but don't.
You've judged me for so many years on this pod for things I liked, and now finally the tables of now I'm the cool one of the show. Now you're the nerd.
Can I get a little support in the comments, guys? Who else has watched?
Gonna get absolutely no support in the comments. If I see one supportive comment, I'm deleting this fucking channel. And I'm deleting Freddy from the earth. I'm gonna swiftly move on from that.
Won't even comment on the virginity I've just heard.
Good on you. I mean, like what you like,
No, don't you patronize me.
I went on a whole rant in my latest video about how like, oh, there shouldn't be such a thing as guilty pleasures. Like, you should just enjoy what movies you enjoy. But after hearing that, I take it back.
Feel guilty, sir.
No, I mean, hey, it sounds interesting, I suppose. Well, hey, I'll talk about something that potentially you will make fun of me for, even though you shouldn't, because it's really cool. But I think I might do a recurring, if we keep having the mini reviews, I might do a recurring little 1 minute little thing about the UFC. Now, I know no one else is interested in it. However, God, it is the thing.
I would make fun of you for this, but I can't after I just talked about animated volleyball.
It is the thing that I watch more than like anything else these days. I'm kind of obsessed with it. So I think
I'm also doing boxing for beginners. So
anyway, there was a UFC event, UFC 255 this weekend. Davison Figueiredo versus Alex Perez. I know you were excited and tuned in.
No, yeah, I was watching it live.
It was a good.
I was like, oh, Perez.
Figueiredo and Perez. Figueres. You just got the whole UFC community against you.
It's their ship. It's their ship name.
Anyway, love the UFC. Anyway, time for the news. Are you ready for the news, Freddie?
I thought you just said, anyways, love you. God. All right, hit me with the news.
All right, first piece of news. Did you see the trailer for Chaos Walking? Just after I say did, you just no.
Do not. Don't talk to me. Chaos Walking?
Chaos Walking.
Sounds like Christopher Walken.
Well, it's
what was this? I might have.
It's the new Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley, Mads Mikkelsen film. I was about to say comedy. It's not film.
Rom-com.
Between Mess and Mikkelsen. It's like fantasy movie based on a book where it's like an alien planet where there's only one woman left, and there's Daisy Ridley, and all men have their like thoughts projected outside their brain, so like you can hear all men's thoughts.
Oh God, do not want to know Mads Mikkelsen's thoughts. It's just a constant stream of Mads Mikkelsen.
I was about to say the same thing. I hate that I was about to say the same thing. You just as you get close to him, you just hear Mads. It just never stops.
As you're further away, it goes Mads Mikkelsen, Mads Mikkelsen. But the closer you get, it goes slower. It gets, but the louder somehow.
It's like Jaws. So you can tell he's nearby.
Mads, Mikkelsen.
It's potentially the worst moment in the pod history. Anyway. So
stupid.
And then they go on an adventure or something, and they have to stop some aliens, I think. It looks kind of interesting. It looks better than the average, like, YA kind of...
The average Mikkelsen movie.
YA, like, Hunger Games. He's in a bunch of Danish movies. Did Mikkelsen, like, find a passion for the Danish language?
The Druk one. The Druk one.
Mm-hmm.
The movie Druk.
Yeah.
I really want to watch it.
Me too. And also, have you seen his new Retfærdighedens?
Yeah, the one where he's like shaved.
Yeah. That one looks pretty fun, actually. I think that could be a Woody movie potentially, but but what do I know?
My.
But
never turn up to these things anyway.
Anyway, yeah, it looks it looks okay. It looks like a movie that would bomb at the box office, but who knows if it'll even come out at cinemas. Although it does have the Holland Ridley star power, so who knows? I really like Daisy Ridley, actually. Yeah, I haven't.
She's the
Star Wars.
She's
girl.
the one from Star Wars, right?
She hasn't been in. Oh no, she was in Murder on the Orient Express, actually. So she hasn't been in anything.
So she hasn't done anything with her life.
Anyway, will you be checking out Chaos Walking based on that description?
I mean, honestly, it doesn't sound bad. I would like to watch a mess beat up a Mikkelsen.
Good. All right. Cool. I'm glad we settled that. Then I don't know what to say about this, but I just saw the headline and I enjoyed it. Mark Ruffalo will play Ryan Reynolds' dad. Now, I'm not quite sure in what context this is.
Aren't they almost the same age?
I believe Ruffalo's significantly older than him. I think it might have been it was a time. Yeah, it's a time travel thing.
Oh, Oh, okay. Okay.
So
I was gonna say because there's like max 15 years between them.
yeah. He tweeted, "So excited to be a part of this already amazing cast and boss around my son at Vancity Reynolds." Kissy emoji. So that's some. I don't know. I see Ruffalo. I put the headline in the pod.
What movie is this?
It's called The Adam Project, a time travel movie also featuring Catherine Keener, Zoe Saldana, and Jennifer Garner. That's a pretty good cast.
You smack Black in there, and then Dwayne shows up.
I only heard Dwayne shows up, but I'm gonna assume that's.
It was a Black Adam reference, but that's right.
Okay. I wish I had only heard the Dwayne part. I can't really find any more stuff about this, but it'll probably be a comedy, knowing how the Reynolds does.
I thought you were gonna say can't really find any more news. So
so goodbye.
This has been your boy Beach.
Why'd you give me the KSIL LGBT outro? Anyway, all right, next piece of news. There was an article on Screen Rant, which is where I found some of this news, about who should play Grindelwald. I thought we could have a little discussion here, given that Johnny, regardless of how you feel about Johnny being let go, he has been. So
I don't want to accept it. I'm not going to live in a world where I have to accept that.
You're in depression right now. You're not quite to acceptance.
No, yeah, exactly.
So
I just passed the third stage of bargaining, but it didn't work.
You've just been begging with Johnny. There were rumors of Mads Mikkelsen, as we talked about. Mads Mikkelsen.
I thought that was already confirmed.
No, it's a rumor, I think. And then in the thumbnail for this article from Screen Rant, they had Costa Veldau of Game of Thrones, Jaime Lannister fame, and I believe one of the Skarsgård boys. I think the Penny.
I won't lie to
boy.
you. I don't think the Skarsgård boy could do him justice.
Really? Because he can be. Creepy Grindel man.
That's his official title. Evening, I'm a creepy Grindel man.
Everyone immediately trusts him for obvious reasons.
I'm sure he'd be fine, but I think Mess would carry that much better. Have you seen scenes from Hannibal?
No, but I can imagine the creepiness of
very
Mess.
very good in it. The creepiness of Mess. No, he's very very good in that.
What about Costa Veldau, Nikolai Costa Veldau? I love the Danish we just need what's his name, Viggo in here, and then boom, that's the three Danish actors who exist.
I think between the two of them, I'd probably choose Mess.
Yeah,
I can see Nikolai being not bad,
but he's also more of like
being not good.
He's more of like a stoic kind of or like cool guy. Like
he doesn't have the craziness that Johnny possesses.
or Mads Mikkelsen.
Or Mads Mikkelsen.
All right. Well, you heard it here first, guys. Costa Veldau's out. Mads Mikkelsen, it has been decided.
Mikkelsen in. Skarsgård, not a chance.
There was a new trailer for the Snyder Cut, but didn't really show anything, so I guess we can kind of skip over that. Deadpool 3 is happening, and Bob's Burgers writers. Have you heard of that show, Bob's Burgers?
That sounds awful.
It's apparently, I've seen a few clips from it. It seems really funny. It's like a kind of like animated show for like an older audience, like kind of like a Rick and Morty Archer style kind of thing.
Okay.
It seems.
God, remember when you were obsessed with Archer? Those were the days.
I should get back to. It's like probably 2 seasons now that I haven't seen. It kind of lost my interest a little bit as it went. But over the summer, I did rewatch a few episodes with some friends of mine, and like from the earlier seasons, and I was like, damn, that was no wonder I talked about that on the early episodes of the pod. That was a good show.
Have you seen the crossover, like the cold open he did with Conan O'Brien?
I have, yes. And I've also seen the one he did with Muggsy, which is also a classic one. Anyway.
Both very good.
Yeah, so Disney, there was kind of a bit of question of if Disney would make Deadpool 3, because it's, rated R and all that. Apparently they are. So, good on the Reynolds.
Not bad.
Reynolds not only has Ruffalo in his corner, but also Disney. So good on you.
Oh, imagine Ruffalo enters the Deadpool of Earth. That'd be amazing.
As his dad? Or just actor Mark Ruffalo?
There has been time travel, that's all I'm saying.
They can just nab him from whatever their other movie he's in. God, what other movies has Ruffalo been in? He was in that one about, like...
the Spotlight?
Well, yeah, but I don't really don't think you'd want to introduce Deadpool into the Spotlight-averse. It's kind of a...
Oh, I didn't know where you were going with it.
It's not really the same tone of film. The Now You See Me-averse. Imagine... Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just kind of listing Ruffalo films. Anyway. It's what I do sometimes.
Just scream Ruffalo facts. Hulk!
It's not really a fact, but I'll let you have it. This is some news that I think you'll be excited about, potentially, or maybe upset about. I don't know. They're making a live-action Lilo and Stitch film.
Ooh, I don't know how to feel about that.
Now, I know you're a big...
I feel Stitch will be horrendous to look at.
Yeah, that seems like a thing that only really works in animation and would be terrifying IRL.
Yeah.
But you're a huge Lilo and Stitch
I love Lilo
fanatic.
And Stitch. That it's borderline cult leader. But yeah, it's very. Oh, I love it, especially in the show. That was my childhood.
I found a great headline which I think sums up your feelings. The idea of a live-action Lilo and Stitch frightens me, and I don't want it.
Very, very true.
I think. Wait.
Oh, because Lilo's so short, and Nani is so tall compared to her.
Who's Nani?
That's how it is.
Also,
that's her. Big
oh my
sister.
God, it is. I saw it's directed by John M. Chu. You know what he's directed? Now You See Me Too. He also directed Crazy Rich Asians, just to give him some props.
I hate that movie.
You hate that movie?
I hate that movie.
That movie was critically acclaimed.
Do you like that movie?
No, I haven't seen it, but but I heard it's good. I'm surprised that you hated it.
You hate that movie? What? What is wrong with you? I don't know it, but
I've never heard of it. But God, I know because it got really good reviews.
It's so bland.
So bland.
I'm telling you what, if Blanta was in that would be so much better.
Crazy Rich Plant. Sorry. Anyway. And so you
Crazy Blanta Asian.
Planta. Anyway, so you thought it was too generic or what? Too bland?
I don't know. It just
Didn't stick with you?
It's just I don't know. It didn't really. It felt like one of those movies where. I said I hate it. I don't hate it. It's just very mediocre.
No, you got to bring that energy. You know, it's the podcasting world. But
no,
so
it had a very like Grown Ups 2 kind of vibe where it was nothing really happened or was.
I refuse to believe that Crazy Rich Asians is in any way comparable to Grown Ups 2. But you know, I'll let you have that.
Yo, you have it. You're the one who hasn't seen it.
Fair enough. So Lilo and Stitch live action, yay or nay? What are you saying?
I'm gonna go with a cautious yay, but it'll most likely turn into an A.
That's usually how these things go.
Yeah.
The Predator 5 is happening. It'll be directed by by Dan Trachtenberg, who I don't know why that made me laugh. It's an interesting name.
Mr. Trachtenberg.
It rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Who directed 10 Cloverfield Lane, which is an excellent film, so that's a good sign.
Is that the one with Mr. Badman?
The fact that that wasn't funny in the slightest, but it took me a second to get it, and for that I'll give you your props.
Cheers. That's all I come for this pod.
Also, I love the horrible thing. I just go after every single one of your jokes. That wasn't funny in the slightest, but I'll give you props.
So that was totally unfunny.
God, you're really dog shit at this, but I appreciate the effort. Oh my God.
God, you would have a crowd boo at you, but
I didn't even mean it that bad, but I realized how terrible that sounded after I said it. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Anyway, you know, you really shouldn't ever talk to me
so that
again.
was just about the most unfunny thing I've ever heard.
So this is why your parents don't love you. Anyway, on to the next news. God. Anyway, so that's the news this week. Kind of a horrendous segment, but we'll move on to the next thing. The topic for this week, we're going to be reviewing, completely inexplicably, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Also, by the way, spoilers for Mission Impossible 4.
I joined the call, ladies and gentlemen, and I've didn't know what to say.
So,
whether to scream, laugh, or just cry. So I did all of them.
So,
at the same time.
2011's Mission Impossible 4, starring...
Is it really 2011?
Yeah. God, I saw that movie with my children. I must be getting old.
My son liked that movie. He's dead.
So, you have seen this movie, I hope, right?
Yeah, I feel like we've watched it together, honestly.
Oh, we did. It was in, they played it in class, that one, for our, like...
Oh, I thought it was a Woody's.
No, like we had, like, our, like, fun day, like, what, in, like, year 9 or something, and for some reason...
in big quotations.
What do you think of it overall, before we dive into my really in-depth, and by that I mean non-existent, notes?
I think this is one of the... I mean, honestly, the last 3 movies, or four Mission Impossible movies have all been great, I think. I think it's better than the 5th one, but not as good as the latest one.
Well, it has a bit of a different tone from the 6th one, where the 6th one, I feel, it has this more, like, kind of epic tone, if you know what I mean. Like, it feels more... like it.
And when I see Tom Cruise hanging off the Burj Khalifa, I think boring.
No, like, this one, it's more kind of, like, fun, I guess, and, like, kind of... not like Marvel movie like, but you know what I'm saying? Like a more fun tone, where the 6th one, it still has like its fun moments and it's still a fun film, but it feels more like, it's kind of like comparing like the Avengers and the Dark Knight kind of, although those are like a bigger tonal discrepancy, but like here, it's a little bit lighter, you know what I'm saying? But I think they both work for what they... Cavill
does drop an F-bomb in this one, and he doesn't do that in the 4th one.
That's very fair, actually.
A bit darker.
Wait, when does Cavill drop an F-bomb?
Why did you have to make this so fucking complicated?
That's so off script.
As he talks to Peg in a mask.
It's not a Mission Impossible mask. It's just Peg's homemade mask. It's Peg's Peg mask. It's just his own face.
Okay, I heard Peg's Peg mask and my mind immediately went elsewhere.
No! Oh, you're terrible. You're actually the worst human being. Anyway, Mission Impossible 4. I think this is my favorite Mission Impossible, and I love it because, I think I've talked about this before, but
Sorry, this is such a nerdy statement. And I think this is my favorite Mission Impossible.
Shut up, Mr. fucking high volleyball anime thing.
Yo. You're right.
You unfunny anime watching man.
This is what happens when you open up on the pod, guys.
Hashtag stop FDK abuse. Oh my god.
Me and Vicstar were the same.
But I love this movie because, as you know, I'm a big fan of the classic spy, like, ridiculous gadgets, little fun like heists, bloody twists and turns. And this is just that exemplified perfectly. There are tons of gadgets, although none of them work in this film from memory. Like, they all go, the mask almost like blows up or something. And
isn't Benji like the master of the gadgets? So he's really just got a job here.
Benji deserves to be fired after this. And like the Burj Khalifa gloves don't work, and I mean that's half the fun of the film, is that they have to figure out all this stuff with that happening. But
yeah, have to improvise, but still.
But I do love all the gadgety stuff. Oh, and the hallway thingy, the big old hallway balloon thing.
The big old hallway thingy.
Help.
The hallway thingy.
Remember, they're sneaking into the Kremlin, and then him and Benji.
Oh, yeah.
Benji, as they say. That was a deep cut Benji? for the pod fans, if we ever did make that reference on the show. But they're sneaking into the Kremlin, and they make a big old thing, and it like depicts the hallway behind them. You know, I mean, I don't know how that. I don't think that would be very real world applicable, but
I saw that and I thought they can't do that in real life.
Peg would never be able to pull that off. But yeah, I love the fun kind of like tone of the film, that they're not like a ragtag team, but they're kind of just trying to like make the best of, they don't really, like, nothing works, they don't really have like all their resources, and just kind of trying to get through this shit. It's kind of the vibe Cruise gives me with the whole thing, just trying to get through another terrible day with Peg as his friend.
With Peg, who's making it so complicated.
It's a really good cast as well, and a very charming dynamic. We have Peg, who appeared first in Mission Impossible 3, but had a very minor role.
Was that his first appearance?
He's only there for like 2 minutes, but here, he's the star of the film.
He steals the show.
He's very funny, very fun performance, and as much as we meme Jeremy Renner, he's very good in this film. He's
also pretty good in this film.
And
as much as we hate the man.
we don't. And they all have fun dynamic. And there's the girl whose name I've forgotten, which is kind of poor of me, but
they all disappear.
Well, they switch them out every movie, which is until recently, which is probably Paula Patton. There we go. She's really good as well, and the whole team has like a fun interplay.
Yeah. Is Rames isn't in this one, is he?
I think he appears at the very end where they're at a cafe, and he's like, "You said mission accomplished, Cruz," and Cruz is like, "I did," and Rames is like, "God, you're fucking lame." As he leaves, he throws his coffee on him and then just walks away. Why am I friends with you, Jesus? Yeah, action's great. And then there's the fight at the. By the way, I mean, again, if you want an in-depth review, you're in the wrong place because we're basically just gonna go through like moments we remember. Like this is not anything.
And things we find funny,
which is nothing about a Renner movie.
This pod is terrible.
There's one part I was skimming through this in like the 5 minutes I had before we called. And there's one part where I can't remember exactly why, but they're having an argument in the Burj Khalifa, and they have this suitcase this briefcase that is clearly important, and Renner is dangling it out the window, like threatening to drop it because he's mad at Cruz or something. Great movie review. So I think there's one guy, he might be mad at this other guy, so he's standing by the window. The point of what I'm saying is, Renner is like, he's very close to the edge of that, like considering they're on like one of the highest floors of the building. He's just kind of like casually standing there, like dangling it out the window. I'm like, you'd probably take a step forward, Renner. Like, come, or at least look behind you. I mean, someone already fell out that window. God, Renner. I also enjoy the Cruise stash in their infiltration of the Kremlin, because it's just Tom Cruise but with a stash. Like, you would, if you were looking out for Cruise, you would definitely be able to tell that was him.
And a fake nose. In fairness, he's got a fake nose, isn't he?
Does he?
He does. God, you idiot. Well, I look really stupid if this isn't the case, but I think it is.
Yeah, I think history will remember me as the correct one in this situation. There's also Renner's story is he shows up and he says he's an analyst.
He watched over. Yeah.
And then it turns out,
which is bullshit.
Well, Renner is being tagged with the truth in this situation, because then it turns out he was. I really tried to make that work and it didn't at all.
The thing is, I hate it because it worked so well.
It turns out
he was tagged.
He was watching over Ethan's wife when she got killed, and so he feels really remorseful, and that's why he's here with Ethan to, like, I guess, settle his like guilty conscience.
But then she wasn't. But then,
yeah, it turns out she's alive, and Cruz was like, "I got you, Renner." Again, another scene in that cafe at the end. He just throws his coffee and then he walks away.
It's Rames who says it.
And there's also the fight at the car park at the end, where Cruz should easily be dead a million times. Like, I know he does all this ridiculous shit in these movies. This is, I think, the most deadly thing that, like, this character should not have survived.
Wait, which one is this?
It's where he's fighting in the car park, and, like, he falls, like, 20 meters and just slams his head into, like, a metal car door and just, like, walks it off like a champ, like Cruz does. But still, I was like,
classic Cruz.
Somehow that's the most unbelievable part of all of this, is that he survived. And then he drives the car off the thing at the end. Remember that? Cruz style, you know?
I won't lie to you, I do not. I don't remember this.
Well, there's a f***ing surprise.
Yo, I got the nose thing right.
And I mean, the main part of the film is the Burj thing.
No, I'll say there are some awesome scenes in this. Also, the sandstorm is pretty cool.
No, yeah.
How Cruz is running from the sandstorm.
No, I mean, the whole...
As if he could ever outrun it, the idiot.
The whole thing is like a really incredibly fun film. And the Burj Khalifa scene, yeah, it's an incredible... I mean, stunt work, obviously. Like, everyone knows Cruz did it for real. But, like, goddamn, that man is insane. Like... And but it's a very, like, even beyond that, it's a very fun, tense scene, especially with everything like malfunctioning. Like, they don't just make it like Cruz climbed up the building, like that's the scene. Like, he does, there's actually like something to it, like story wise and fun wise, and then he also has to like climb down at the end. It's very fun with and there's like a countdown and everything. It's very, yeah, everything in this is like very typical spy stuff, but it's done perfect, like with such a fun edge, like such a fun like way of doing it, and it all culminates in a very, very enjoyable film. I am thinking, do we pull a crazy man maneuver here and just talk about all 3 of the Mission Impossible 4, 5, and 6? Because I don't really have much else to say about 4, and like we've got enough time to just, if we spend about 10 minutes on each, which we did on Mission Impossible 4.
God.
Well, how much time do you have?
That's two video ideas right out the window there.
Because I mean, I don't really have much else to say about this. I've realized, shockingly.
I'm down for this. I'm down for this. I have to head out in 20 minutes, but
in 20 minutes.
That's we can make that, or like 20.
Because we still have the announcements and such in Cnews, so maybe we should just call it here.
Oh, okay. Should we just call it here then? Because we're 50 minutes now.
Yeah.
In fairness.
All right, that was the topic for this week. This was a little bit of a disaster, but hey, look, we're trying to put this together while the world's falling apart. So I'm sorry, but hey, hopefully it's still enjoyable. And next week, hopefully, we'll actually be able to record in person. I'll have properly planned podcast. You know what I'm saying?
No, it just doesn't sound right.
Anyway, the Cnews. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's time for the Cnews.
Very nice.
I like how we still kind of wait for the song to go out until we realize that you do in fact edit it in.
So the Cnews for this week is Tom Cruise and Haley Atwell are handcuffed together on set for Mission Impossible 7. It's not much.
Haley Atwell, who is that again?
Well, you will remember Haley Atwell as A, my celebrity crush, but B, Peggy Carter from Captain America. So I see, I'm already looking for Tom Cruise. I see Haley Atwell in the Tom Cruise. Boom. There's the Tom Cruise.
I don't know why you like Haley Atwell so much.
I think it has something to do with the Captain America fanboyness inside me, and then also identifying so much with the character of Steve Rogers. I think it has to do something with the fact that I look exactly like Steve Rogers, and then I also act exactly like him, and I'm just as strong. But anyway, I just saw that, and I thought that's interesting for that movie, and I kind of forgot that she was in it, so that's nice. And yeah, I mean,
is she in it? Is she not a new character?
No, she is a new character, but I forgot she'd been cast in it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
What do you think happens to what's the other girl?
Rebecca Ferguson. Well,
yeah,
she's in it though. So they're not doing the thing that they did in every other one, where they swap out the female member of the team. Yeah, no. Vanessa Kirby's coming back. Rebecca Ferguson.
I like Vanessa Kirby. She's very good.
Yeah, so they're carrying over. I mean, these latest Mission Impossible films have also been more about carrying over stories instead of just like kind of a one movie thing. Like 5 and 6 are quite related.
I just say I Rebecca Ferguson I don't really like.
Really? She's incredible.
Yeah, I think she's a little bit. Really? She's a queen.
I really like Rebecca Ferguson.
I think she's a little bit bland.
Planta, but why do you think that?
And then you laugh and then just blurt it out, Planta. Planta.
But
I don't know. It's just I find her a bit boring. I don't know.
I feel like sometimes your opinions are just very.
I'm a real one.
Very baseless, but whatever.
I don't need to justify myself to you.
I think
this is not a podcast where we talk about things.
I think she's really good, and I'm looking forward to her coming back. But yeah, it should be a good movie. It has a killer cast. All right.
Is Peg in it?
Is what?
Is Peg in it?
Of course, Peg's in it. You silly goose.
Then it truly is a killer cast.
What did you comment? What did you mention me in?
That's my cheap attempt to get
actual Muppet.
To get a holiday destination. I would go with you in Paris if you want.
Freddie is getting into the bad habit of commenting my name on giveaways he wants, which I'm not. I have to say I don't consent to. But fine, I'll let you have it, I guess. If you win that, though,
it's a $30,000. Yeah, it's a $30,000 holiday.
All right, we're on.
So you're coming.
We're on to the. I'm pretty sure those are all like scams, but anyway, that's none of my business. We're on to the announcements and such. Yeah. So, firstly, the fan page, one of the fan pages run by Cian, So, firstly, there was a promo for Death on the Nile about mustaches.
I think.
For Movember. I don't think this has audio.
Nice.
But, it has to do with...
Are you doing Movember?
I didn't mean not to, but I didn't really think about it. I mean, my facial hair doesn't really... I know you do a year-round Movember, but I'm still kind of in the process of, like, of developing facial hair, you know what I'm saying? So, because when I let it grow, it just kind of like, I don't know, it's a little bit sad. So I'm waiting until I just sprout a beautiful...
I disagree. I think it's a Viking beard.
Beautiful Krasinski-esque beard. I mean, it's not terrible, but no, I have not participated in Movember. But it's a good cause though, and so good on Death on the Nile and everyone who's participated in that. I know UFC athlete Paul Felder did it. Very good Felder. Then the episode 50 is on 69 likes. He said nice in response to this.
Nice.
There was a little comparison for the end of the Poorly Planned podcast where Cian says, if you guys make a third one, we're going to think it's a joke. So now we can't really make an actual, like, the end of the pod if we actually are ending the pod. So, whoops.
So, guess we'll have to keep going for life, eh?
Then there's a new Key movie called Jingle Jangle: A Christmas Journey. Clearly titled by Key himself. He looks really, really upset and confused in this screenshot from the trailer, so that's how I kind of feel about that title.
As he usually is at the photo shoots.
Then there's an angry DiCaprio meme when John Hamm is in an Irish film but doesn't do an Irish accent. So that is...
What's the movie John Hamm's in? I forget.
It's called Wild Mountain Time trailer number 1.
That is a long movie name.
Then I've actually not seen this yet. Cian posted a little video. I mean, have you seen the video?
No, I don't think so. Wait, I'll get it up on my other computer here on Instagram.
About the length here. Ooh, I dare you, Cian. We'll make a meme about the length.
That's what he said.
Well, I will say slightly.
I
will say slightly confused by some of the. Well, it says here Instagram cropped it, so I couldn't really read what some of it said. But from what I understood,
I think we have to see the full video.
He memed me for my 3-hour video, which is very fair. I appreciate. To be honest, I'm surprised I don't get memed for that more, because that is like.
God, I really sucked the vault dry for that.
And then also, all the Tarantino movies combined are not as long as the latest pod because it was an epic return to form. So I appreciate that, Cian. So thank you very much for the support. And then also release...
What's this Renner video?
Release the BHL cut. So it's in reference to... Because we told the story of the tag video. So it's been demanded that we release the epic BHL cut. I will say maybe someday. However, it does...
But only when we get some money for it, you know? If you're good at anything, never do it for free.
It does, involve people like other people who maybe like wouldn't want us to put it on the internet. Understandable for a tag-related video. But also it's kind of like it's a personal, you know, like... It's a present I made for Fidalgard. So, you know, maybe someday, though. Never say never. Then we also got a couple of emails from Movie Guy. Let me pull this up. I think you'll enjoy. So first one, Movie Guy, aka Samresh. First one is it's a poster for a film. Well, first of all, the subject line in the email is, "Are you ready to shoot the dog?" Then it's a poster. I'll send you a snap of this. It's just
yes, please do.
Yeah, actually, I'd rather not describe it.
I don't think I can watch it right now because I'm recording on my phone. I don't want to risk messing it up.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
But I'll watch it after.
Well, anyway, it says "Shoot the Dog," Michael Caine, a documentary, and it's just a giant picture of Michael Caine's face. And then it says, "You know his name, but you don't know his story. From the people who brought you Mark, a Strong documentary, comes a story of a man who's done some things you wouldn't expect." Starring Michael Caine, Alfred. Directed by Michael Caine, produced by Michael. Rated NC-17 for strong sexual activity, gore, strong violence, and strong British language, and Michael f***ing Caine. I just realized I spelled Michael Caine wrong in the poster.
God,
I'm sorry. There's another email, which has a couple of... Again, I can't show you these, but I'll send these to you after. A few movie posters here. He says, "Sorry for my really bad editing skills. It was the first editing work I ever did 2 years ago. The pod is back in full form, and thank you for making 1 hour. I missed the OG pods that were 1 hour, but also 30 minutes pods are really good." So I recently came across these 2 posters I made 2 years ago for the pod, but I had problems sending them, so I sent them now. So the first one I'll just describe to you is it's the Avengers Age of Ultron poster. However, the faces have been replaced by me, you, Gad, Cavill, Thwaites, The Rock, Tom Cruise, Cavill again, John Hamm, and Thanos. And it says, "Remember the Cump." Music by Loaded Diaper, directed by Edgar Wright. Avengers Age of the Poorly Planned podcast. I take issue with the fact that he's made me Iron Man and you Captain America. I think I should be Captain America and you should be Hawkeye. Then...
You should be Renner's bodyguard.
And the description says, "They never expected a big chin to invade Earth, but 2 boys recruit a team of misfits, including a rock and a sneaky Gad. Will the poorly planned podcasters succeed?" And then the second one is just the Fast and Furious poster, but again, the same band of misfits has been placed on all these people. In this one, he made me The Rock, I believe, and he made you one of the female characters. I can't tell which one. It's kind of funny that...
Oh my God.
He didn't make The Rock The Rock.
I was like, please, Blanta.
He in fact put The Rock on Vin Diesel's body, I think. So, anyway, thank you very much, Movie Guy.
Weirdly diabolical.
Some men just want to watch the world burn. Anyway, unless you have any announcements and such, I think that's the really messy and terribly audioed episode for this week. I'm sorry about the audio again. It's just because, traveling and figuring stuff out and everything. But so, do you have anything else to add, or is that the...
I never have anything to add in these things.
Well, that's been the episode for this week. Thank you very much for listening. You can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson. You can email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com. If you are listening on YouTube, you can also listen on Apple Podcasts and Spotify if you want. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, we are on YouTube, where there's exclusive video content as well as the pod. So check that out.
Ooh, mama. Well, you can find me on Twitter at FDK_DultSniper. You can find me on Instagram at FDalgard. And you can find me on YouTube at FDK Space Gaming.
Also, by the way, spoilers for Mission Impossible 4. I'll put this back at the the other part.
Say those after we've said our goodbyes, by the way. I feel like we didn't even spoil anything.
That was one of the most disastrous topic segments we've ever done. And I loved it. So, thank you very much for listening, everyone. Amazing. And we will see you next time. Well, I just saw that Freddie moved the mic way closer to his mouth, so I can only imagine how that's going to sound added. So I can't wait.